All right, feeling good. How is it going, my friends? We are back on a back day, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Man, I am feeling different today. Good kind of different. Kind of different that makes you want to hit a back day. Yeah, but also, I have just been feeling a lot more productive with this new schedule change in my day. And also, please excuse the wobbles. We're just getting used to this. First off, my hair, because I just got a haircut and it's, man, not what I envisioned. But no matter. I mean, shorter hair means you're bigger, right? That's just how it works. So gotta always look at the pluses. But anyways, please excuse the wobbles. We're still on this iPhone kind of tripod, so it is, it's not going to be the most stable. But I am investing in a new vlog camera, and then I'm going to get a car mount for here, just to make these videos as great as they possibly can be. And I was just talking about, man, the whole idea of this vlog. And man, the whole idea behind it is to administer something that I usually get with my coach, where, what I mean by that is no matter what conversation we have, it could be about peptides, it could be about nutrition, it could be about training, it could be about something super random, like the ice walls in Antarctica. Ask me about that at another time. But it could literally be about anything. And it's a very laid back conversation, no pressure. Say whatever you want to say. But at the same time, I'm learning a whole lot. And that is the whole idea behind this vlog. I want y'all to, just kind of kick it with me. Comment below, like whatever you want. It's basically, it's meant to be almost like a conversation piece, or like a Discord, almost like a group chat. That's kind of the vibes that I'm going for with this vlog. But at the same time, man, I'm learning something every day. And so if y'all are obviously learning something, you're smart. Please share it with me. Like that's the kind of environment that I want to create. Something that's chill, but we're also learning. We're also evolving. I mean, I don't prefer anything other than that. So that is the name of the game with this vlog. Now for back day today, we don't have a lot of time in this car drive because, man, this gym is freaking close. But in this back day, I'm going to be foam rolling right before, get the juices flowing, because I didn't get a massage this past weekend. But I did stretch yesterday for the first time, just, average static stretching. Got to get my lats, got to get my lower back in the mix. So I'm feeling good today. So we'll do light foam rolling, and then we're going to get into probably 2 pull-down movements, 2 rowing movements, different grips, different variations on both of those, or on all 4 of those, I should say. But I'm pretty sure it is the same kind of workout. We're starting at 6 reps, first set, and then we add 2 reps every set. So I've been really enjoying these type of workouts because, one, I can get them done quick. I'm not too big of a fan of going overboard with the amount of time in a workout, because all you really need to break down muscle tissue effectively, in my mind, and from the studies that I've seen, is anywhere from 45 minutes to about an hour and a half. That's all you really need. Those I remember freaking seeing those YouTube videos of Rich Piana, like 8-hour arm workout. And don't get me wrong, Rich Piana, rest in peace, is the man. He is awesome. But at the same time, I don't think 8 hours is really necessary for an arm workout. I mean, to freaking break down muscle tissue, all you really need is push the muscle group to failure, or at least close to it, and then wash, rinse, and repeat. Just do that, 4 sets each exercise. Do about 4 exercises on whichever muscle group that you're hitting, and you're golden. And then if you're doing some type of, push-pull legs kind of sequence, just focus on 3-4 sets, 1 exercise. Every set, you're trying to annihilate the muscle group, and you're golden. I mean, that's the trend throughout all of this. Just focus on pure annihilation, no mercy, just, obviously with good form to where you're not going to injure yourself, and you're golden. You'll be good. But anyways, I have lots more to share about, my life and what I've been doing lately, but we just got to the gym, so I will see y'all in there for a good old-fashioned back day. Alright, so we're supersetting hip pulls and bat wings. And I mean, it seems kind of obvious because, change up the exercise selection and the order, and, you're going to have a different outcome as far as where you're going to get the pump. And man, oh man, I mean, bat wings, they're extremely armpit heavy, meaning that, it's from the lat going all the way up into the shoulder. It's kind of like that region. You definitely want to stop before you get into, full-blown rear delt and your shoulder, just to make sure you're hitting mostly lat. But it's kind of like whenever you do like a front lat spread or a back lat spread, or you're just standing, it's that lat going up into your shoulder. Like that's mainly what we're hitting with these. But I'm pairing that up with hip pulls, and I mean, hip pulls, it's basically just like a row, except you're just going to your hip instead of right below your chest. Dude, I mean, the pump is crazy, going up all the way through the armpit, and then even down to the bottom of the lat. Like that whole area is completely activated right now. So these are feeling extra juicy. But let's get into it. Now we can go a little heavier. There we go. Oh my god. Woo. Let's do some hip pulls now. Alright, let's get into these hip pulls. Ooh. Oh yeah. Alright. Supersetting reverse lat pull downs, and man, it was supposed to be some sort of T-bar row, but couldn't find it here, so we are supplementing with a machine row that I haven't used in a while because it's more of an underhand grip, so you're more pulling to your hip and getting more lower lat activation, which I'm a big fan of. But man, let's let's see how this pans out. Well, I like this because it's a full stretch on the lats, and then that's, you know, a good squeezing motion because I get that chest support. So let's see it in action. You got a little more. No. Oh my God. Ooh. Oh yeah. That's good. All right. See how this underhand row goes. Row, row, row your boat. Nine. Come on. Oh my God. Woo. That gets heavy. Oh my God. Woo. That's good. Alright, last siggity set of lower half pull-ups. Man, this is like back double bi central. I mean, just the contraction at the top, it's almost identical. I mean, you know, you got to change up your grip or, you know, the angle of your wrists in the back double bicep, but still, I mean, it's almost identical. So if you're really trying to build up your back double bicep, I would highly consider throwing in some lower half pull-ups, especially because if you just have regular pull-ups and you're going through the whole motion, you're going to be throwing quite a bit of shoulder in there at the very end. With lower half pull-ups, you keep all the tension on your lats, and it's basically the back double bicep pose, just the, you know, like I said earlier, you got to change up the wrist angle. But anyways, let's get into it. Yep. Oh my God. Woo. We got a little more. Oh yeah, that's good. Woo. Oh yeah. All right, let's go pose. All right, let's see how the physique is panning out. Man, I gotta be honest, I indulged a little bit over the weekend, so there might be a little more fluff than usual, but man, no matter, we're back on track. I mean, we had 2 nights. I mean, one night not so much, but one night, oh man, whole lot of binging, and you know, the IGF definitely helps as far as, you know, minimizing the fat tissue, but still, I mean, we got to stay on track. And this week we have a little bit more protein going for us, because our last meal has a little more protein. No veggies in that last meal, but that's okay. I think the whole point is to keep the waist pretty small, but then at the same time try to drive up the protein intake so we can gain more muscle. But let's see how the physique's looking. All right, solid back day, man. Whew. I think that's enough said. I really have nothing to add there, other than, whew, do the rows, do the pull downs. Y'all already know, but master the basics, get after it. I'll see y'all in a little bit. Right, what is poppin'? So, back workout complete, man, and we are heading home, but I want to touch on something on the way home. So, as I was saying before, a lot to unpack with what I've been doing recently. Recently, I have been writing for 2 hours every morning, waking up early, getting that done. And the main reason is because it helps me to articulate, not only the story itself, but certain thoughts that I've been having. It's almost like, it's like a journal in the form of a book. And so, long story short, the whole book is about different kinds of breaths. And, from the most famous kinds of breaths to the least famous kinds. And it comes down to 5 breaths that most people have heard of, except for one. And that's, I'll let that be the surprise. But pretty cool. I am especially excited about it because it kind of rabbit holes. Like, I basically, just keep writing for those 2 hours. I set the timer, and then I just go for it. I kind of just go into these little rabbit holes, and I, keep writing and keep researching and keep learning. And it's kind of cool. It's almost like these vlogs where, I never know what, like Forrest Gump would say, life's like a box of chocolates. Like, these vlogs, I never know what I'm gonna get. So that's the same thing with writing the book too. It's very, it has its structure, like it has the characters and it has a certain storyline that it's going down, but I can't predict exactly what's gonna happen in the story until I write it. It's not like I have a freaking blueprint and I'm building a house and I gotta have, foundation and random stuff. It's kind of like that, but not really. Like, it's kind of like you're painting something and then you just kind of let the brush just kind of do its thing as you're painting it, and then certain light bulbs go off and you get certain ideas like, oh, maybe this would look, or this would sound really good with this, or oh, well, that makes sense because this character has this kind of demeanor, and and so you just kind of get used to not knowing what's going to happen in the story. And it's almost like just being there for those 2 hours, just setting that timer and just kind of giving myself that space. It's also like a mental relaxation where I can just sit there, write, and then let the story do its magic. But it's not putting too much pressure on it, because I used to just do like 20 minutes, or I used to just do an hour. But man, 20 minutes, that to me, it's almost like trying to do an entire lifting session in 20 minutes. You're not gonna have that great of a lift. You're not gonna like break down too much muscle tissue. It's too quick. Like, it's just not enough time. And so it's the same thing with this, where just knowing in the back of my mind, oh, I have a full 2 hours to just jam out on this. Sign me up. That sounds great. And I just become a lot more relaxed. I can just focus on the material and just kind of let the story do its thing. So that's the biggest thing I've really been into, and it really ties in well with my obviously my interest in meditation. So I guess the main reason why I'm writing it is because I look up all these different techniques on meditation, and I'm like, what is the best technique, or, you know, quote unquote the best technique. And it's a lot like lifting, where, you know, you just have a program that works best for you, or nutrition, you know, you just have food that works best for you. And so it's the same thing with this, where like I wanted to give you all 5 breaths for you to pick, you know, just to try them out, just to kind of give them a go and see which one works best for you. But at the end of the day, I mean, I also wanted to make it entertaining. I also wanted to make it funny. You know, if y'all have ever seen like Kung Fu Panda or Over the Hedge, or, you know, any kind of like one of those like kids movies where, you know, they have like or like Shrek, like they have like a really good, I guess, like underlying message behind it. You know, like in Kung Fu Panda, it's kind of like find inner peace and you'll be good to everyone kind of thing, or, you know, something along those lines. They kind of have like those zingers throughout the movie, but it's the same thing with this, where, you know, I wanted to have a reference for people to go to if they wanted to try out any of these 5 breaths, but I wanted to make it in a very entertaining way. I wanted to make it, you know, this book where you can just fly through the pages. You know, it's like I'm writing it and just cracking up writing it, because there's some parts that are just straight up ridiculous, and that's okay, because like it almost fits the character perfectly when I'm writing it. Like, I mean, you have like your characters that are really upbeat, and then you have your characters that are really grumpy and pessimistic, you know, and so you get the full spectrum of people. But having that contrast of characters, it really adds depth to the story. So I'm really excited about writing this story. It's been a long time in the making. I'll be honest. The first time I ever wrote I literally wrote the entire story in 6 days. Like, I just woke up, jammed out for like the first 2 to 4 hours of the day, every day, and I just wrote it. And I wrote the entire thing, but it was almost like it was like the skeleton of it. You know, it definitely has its potential, but this is really just putting meat on the bones. This is giving the characters backstory. It's going a lot more in depth in the breath themselves, and then actually making it very personalizable, if that's a word. You know, you can customize it for yourself. In other words, where, you know, you have like the standard breaths, but then there are certain breaths where you're like, maybe that'll work for you, but what'll work best for me? And then that's when the characters will walk you through what works best for you. So I'm excited about it. I can't wait to release it. And yeah, I mean, that's all for now. I mean, I have so much more to say about that, but I feel that's a good stopping point. But overall, good back day, good writing, and the meditations have been meditating. So peace out, my friends. Y'all are awesome.